Hi there and welcome back to Cooking with Mark, and today we're going to be making strawberry flavored brownies. What you're going to need is 2 boxes of 18.3 ounce box of brownies. You're going to need 4 eggs. You're going to need 1 1/3 cups of oil, and instead of the water you're going to need a half a cup of strawberry flavored syrup. That's for the cake mix. We're also going to take fresh or frozen strawberries. I'm using frozen ones. You're going to heat those in a pan with some sugar. I have a half a cup of sugar. And we're going to make sure the strawberries are mashed. You're going to heat it on a low heat to get it to almost like a caramelized strawberries with the syrup. And then we're going to pour that over the middle of the brownies, and then we're going to pour another layer of brownies on top of that. After it bakes and it's cooled down, you're going to poke holes in it, and you're going to mix the rest of the strawberry mixture into a bowl with sweetened condensed milk. Mix it up. You're going to pour it over the top of that, and so it soaks up into those holes. And then after that, you're going to take some Cool Whip and spread over the top. And that's what we're going to make. So the first you're going to need is the 2 boxes of brownies. You're going to need the 4 eggs, the syrup, and the oil. And we'll get that started right here. So as you can see, I've already got everything laid out here. You take the brownies first. These never seem to open the way they're supposed to, so we're just going to make it easy and just cut it. Now I've used a large bowl because I knew what I was going to throw in here. So you may end up having to use a blender to mix this. Maybe not, we'll have to see. Right now we're just going to use a whisk. So you're going to crack your 4 eggs. Make sure that they're extra large eggs. And then you're going to add your syrup. I'm sorry, your oil. There's 1 cup. And there's the third. And last but not least is the syrup. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually just scrape this to make sure that we get all the syrup out of here. And we're just going to whisk this through. Now the reason for the syrup is to give the brownies the strawberry flavor. I didn't add any extra flavoring or any extra liquid to this. I just substituted the strawberry syrup for the water. So we'll get this all mixed up. When you get done, it should look something like this. So when you're done, it should look something like this. It's all mixed. Now, if you wanted to taste it to see if there is enough strawberry flavor in there, you could do that. But in all honesty, you don't want to take away from the strawberries that you're actually going to put in the center. So I'm going to leave it as it is. I've actually got a half a cup of strawberry syrup in here. The other thing that you could do is, if you didn't want to do strawberry, you could do bananas. There is a banana syrup. There is a, you could put apples in here and just throw apple juice in instead of the water. That's really entirely up to you. So this is all done. We're going to set this aside. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on the strawberries, getting those heated and cut up. So we're going to turn the tables over to the other side over here. And as you can see, I have my bowl. There's my half a cup of sugar. This is a 15.5 ounce tub of frozen strawberries that I actually let set out in the refrigerator overnight to thaw. So these are all set. I'm going to just get this peeled up. Now you're probably wondering why I have the cutting board here. The cutting board is in case I have to cut anything. So the next thing we're going to do is grab the spatula. And we're going to scrape this out here. And I have a few leftover frozen strawberries we're going to throw in here. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to we're just going to simply take this masher right here, and we're going to make sure all the strawberries are mashed, because as I stated, we want this to be as syrupy as possible, and we want the strawberries to be small enough where they don't affect anything, and they still will be able to shoot down the holes when we make the holes here. Now, if you're finding that that's not working, you can always take a fork and just simply go through and mash your strawberries. Now you want to cook these on a low heat. because you don't want to burn this, but at the same time you want it to caramelize. And the only way you're going to get it to caramelize is by heating it on a low heat to heat it up to get the sugar to have the sugar activated. So I have this all set here. So we're going to take this and we're going to pour it in this pan that I have on the stove. Put that in the sink. Put that in the sink. That. Now we have this. We have this on a low heat right now. We're just going to stir it. As I said, we just want to get it caramelized. That's it. It's not anything where we have to heat it up to boil it or burn it. We're just going to heat up the sugar. As everybody knows that when you heat sugar, when you heat it enough, it'll actually caramelize. So that's all we're trying to do right here. Because you want the strawberries to be chewy. Or the strawberry filling anyways to be chewy. Now, if you wanted to thicken this up, which I think I'm going to, you could add a little cornstarch to it. Cornstarch is really good to thicken anything up. So as I stated, we're just going to add a little bit to it. Just to thicken it just a tad bit. And when I say a little bit, it's like a tablespoon. That's it. Not even. I think that might be a half a tablespoon. So we have this in here. It's going to turn it a little, almost like a pinkish, as you can see here. I'm just trying to mix it all in. Getting it all thick, getting it all mixed in here. Now while this is cooking, now would be a good time to actually take your oven and preheat it to a 325. It's 325 if you have dark pans, and it is 350 if you have just regular metal pans. I always use the non-stick ones, so my temperature is always a little bit less. So we got this almost to where we want it. It's bubbling right now. We're going to let it bubble some more. Probably like 2 minutes more, and then it'll be all set. Now you notice that I've actually placed foil in one pan, and the other pan is just a regular grease pan. This is a 9-inch round pan, and this is a 9x13. The reason for that is this one is actually going to work and is going into a tray. I'm actually going to pop this foil out of this pan and put it on a cookie sheet and then place it in the tray and then take it to work. So that's why it looks the way it does. So while this is simmering at a medium-low heat, and please make sure you stir constantly on this. The last thing you want to do is to have this burn. Sugar will burn real quick if you don't stir it. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our brownies that we've already mixed, and we're going to just simply pour some into the pan. We just want to coat the bottom of the pan. Looks like we're going to need a little bit more in here. And while we're at it, we're going to do the other pan as well. And this one is, actually we're going to wait on that one, just because I want to make sure I get this one done first. Alright, so this is all set. I'm going to shut this off. All you're going to do is take a spoon and just simply spread it over this. Make sure you evenly cover the center. Then you're going to take the brownie mix. And pour it over the top. Now what you're going to see is a mixture of the brownies and the strawberries together. So when you get done, it should look something like this. Now, I don't know if you can see it. I can see it. So yes, you can see the red in the center of the straw of the brownie mix. So we're going to set that aside for now. And we're going to do this other pan. Now, as I stated, you're just going to use a little bit. And spread it around the bottom. I'm using my finger because it seems to be working the best on this. You're putting a very little layer on here. So you want to make sure that when you do this, you do not cook these too long, otherwise they will burn. And then we're going to take more of this strawberry on this one. And you can see it's right in the center. And then we're just going to take the rest of this brownie mix and pour it over the top. Now you'll see that once I get done with this, you're going to see just what it looks like. Now, if you're wondering why I'm making two, I always make two. One is for home, and one is for work. It's something that I've always done. I always make one for the house, because I have roommates who don't cook, and they actually do like my cooking. So that's why I do two of them. We have this all done. We're going to actually set the timer on this. It's going to be for, let's see, about 30 minutes. Now it may take longer because of the strawberries that's in there. So we'll have to wait and see here. Set the timer for 30. And in the meantime, while that's cooking, I will show you how to do the strawberry topping. So on the strawberry topping, you're going to use a can of sweetened condensed milk. And you're going to use the rest of the strawberries. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pour in the sweetened condensed milk. And when they say sweet and condensed, it is very, very sweet. I use it a lot when I'm doing, there's 7-layer cookie bars that I use. And all this is just milk with sugar. That's it. So we have this in here. We're going to pour in the strawberries. And we're just going to mix this together. Now when you get done mixing it, it should look real pink. So if you're doing it right, when you get done, it should look something like this. Now, sweet condensed milk is a yellow, almost like vanilla color. So when you add the red strawberries to it, it turns it to a pink. So this is all done. So we're going to let this set until the brownies are done. So I will see you in 25 minutes.